I'm with BITA. We are an association with kind of the goal of creating standards for blockchain in the transportation and supply chain space. Started by a group of kind of executives in the transportation space. This is a deck that we show people that don't know what blockchain is, so I'm going to skip over a few things and talk about kind of the enterprise benefits to our customers and or the members that join our organization. We don't have a product we sell. We're have a 501c6 nonprofit kind of standards board, and we work with groups that want to kind of create and really promote interoperability with the standards they create. So benefits to enterprise for blockchain kind of in this space, frees up capital, lowers transaction cost, speeds up processes, as y'all know. In the transportation space specifically, there's a lot of areas where blockchain is working to be plugged in, and applications are being created, specifically in kind of the EDI communications, fuel repayments. Trucking companies have contracts to pay for fuel for their carriers, payments and settlements. IoT devices, for supply chain companies wanting to, track the temperatures of shipments, making sure food safety, temperatures remain constant throughout, things like that. Recording RFPs and transactions, and smart contracts is obviously a big one that kind of takes the supply chain from end to end with shippers, carriers, final destination. You can have that all on a blockchain and automatically execute, but y'all probably know these things. So a little bit about kind of what we're forecasting with our group. We think right now is kind of the time for education, case studies, early adoption, et cetera. 2021 to 2025, we kind of see growth in the industry, people actually starting to adopt blockchain, and then by 2026, 2030, et cetera, we see kind of widely adopted blockchain applications, enterprise applications kind of in the space. Y'all know that blockchain is disruptive. So this is a kind of snapshot of kind of what the goal is for some blockchain applications kind of in the supply chain side. So a carrier and an OEM connect the truck to a permissioned blockchain network. 3PLs and shippers that are looking to ship the goods, solicit freight on the blockchain network, they're connected. And once the carrier has the truck, the network matches up a shipper based on ELDs, which is like electronic log device. Truckers, there's a pretty big issue with how many hours you can drive, and so that limits kind of what can be shipped. So once that's kept on the blockchain, the network can tell the company how many hours the driver has available, and the smart contract can be kind of written up with the price per mile, et cetera. Carrier agrees, and then the blockchain is implemented for the contract and executed when the truck's dispatched and the contract's fulfilled. And payment, is done instantly there via could be a cryptocurrency, could be more of a fiat. And so this just kind of shows a good graphic how the transportation space can kind of all be connected through the blockchain. Right now, hurdles, scalability, the public blockchains are limited. Data privacy, people are worried about their data being shared. I think we've seen a lot of transportation companies that lag way behind in kind of their capabilities and their technology. So people say they're worried about their data being stolen, but they're still running their company on Windows XP. So, what can you tell them? So right now we have 450 plus members, lots of transportation companies from trucking, air, rail, et cetera, and technology companies. Really, we're looking to grow kind of the technology side of things. One of our big aspects is we put on events, conferences. We have 2 of those a year. Our next one's coming up in Dallas. All of the BITA members will be there. And we have kind of a 2-day event. The first day is a demo day where we have 40 tech companies are pitching to the audience. And then we'll have an innovation lab for companies that are more early stage, that aren't quite ready to be on stage live pitching. And they'll be able to be there in the arena with the all of the companies. There's around 1,500 folks going to be there. And yeah, so we have a website. We have a partnership with FreightWaves.com, which is the largest media site in the world for transportation and logistics news. And so they write a lot of articles about kind of what we're doing and cover what the membership is working on. Recently, we debuted the technical committees and working groups, which are formed by members. Right now we have working groups in finance and compliance, interoperability, and data formats, and those groups are working together to create standards. The technical committees for data formats, they're forming 2 working groups, one to develop a standards recommendation for location data, and the other to work on documentation standards, which would be like bills of lading, proof of deliveries, et cetera, on the trucking side. And then we have an interoperability technical committee, which is forming 2 working groups. One to identify other blockchain organizations, standards-based associations, consortiums, et cetera, that they'd like to partner with, and vice versa. And then the other to develop a survey about what use cases they could potentially use across the supply chain. So that's kind of what they've been working on. This is a little bit about our event we're putting on in Dallas, coming up in November. It's focused really on the economic outlook and markets of kind of the transportation space, and really how technology is impacting it. Blockchain's in the name, blockchain's the focus, but really it's how tech is innovating the transportation space. So yeah, that's it. I know y'all are probably hungry, and I'll have a booth out there. So come see me if you want to discuss how to become part of our organization, present at our event, and be a part of BITA.